President Vladimir Putin and the Russian military have invaded the nation of Ukraine. With so much turmoil and chaos, one could wonder how it feels to be a Russian citizen. Anya is a Russian citizen living in France, with family members currently in Russia during this time. 90.3 WMSC's Sal DiMaggio and Ben Petruk interviewed Anya as she weighed in on the war and the effect that it will bring to her and her family.
What have you been hearing from your family and friends in Russia about what's going on there?
Everyone, of course, was shocked yesterday. No one expect, and everyone feel afraid. And yesterday, everyone I know, my family, my friends, everyone were against of this war. No one supported. So just everyone shocked, afraid, and I think we are just in solidarity with what's going on. No one wants cruelty, and no one supports that. Definitely.
And back when you did live there, was there any hint of this ever happening, or was it just this came out of nowhere?
No, actually, it's a really long history between Ukraine and Russia. It's not like one of a sudden. You should really know what's going on, because actually it was a war in some of the regions of Ukraine for 8 years after 2014, like Crimea and stuff. So it was war. But it was war between, as I believe, I'm not sure if it's true or not, just only transmit my point of view. So it was war between these East Ukraine regions, if you know, Donbass and Ukraine, because Donbass, they want to be independent from Ukraine after revolution in Ukraine. I have a friends who were living there for 8 years. They were living under war circumstances, and it was conflict between Ukraine and that regions. And that's why it was escalation of the conflict for a long time. And it was not really one of a sudden, because war never stopped in Ukraine. It was always ongoing. Mm-hmm.
People need to know about the history about this conflict and know why it got to a point where it did. And a person that knows the people there, that's my biggest thing that I've noticed that we have never seen so publicly since the Vietnam War on America's side. Mm-hmm. We have not seen protests and uprisings to not go to war. How it starts to really show that it's the governments that are causing so much havoc, that the people that have to deal with it are the innocents that don't want a war. And that goes with every single country. As you can see how the people of Russia are stuck there. They can't, and their economy is destined to fall due to the sanctions, and people that want to leave can't. The people of Ukraine, it's unbelievable what they're going through, and the innocents who are hiding in shelters and subways. And then you go to any other country that's with the sanctions as a whole, with everywhere. It's just innocents that have to suffer through it. And of course, Ukraine getting the absolute worst of it. But you have shown, especially on your social media page, that this is just the innocents have to suffer throughout all this.
Yeah, it's both sides. It will be like in Russia, life in Russia, it's already kind of really hard, and it will be even worse. And finally, I'm afraid for the future of Russia and Ukraine, both of the countries, and I'm absolutely sure that it will be super hard in both countries. Really soon, actually, it will influence the full world. Yeah, and I'm afraid of sanctions, of course, because I don't know, it will destroy business of my family, work of my friends. I know how people will live in Russia after that, and people shouldn't pay that price because no one supports it. Everyone against, everyone I know. Yesterday it was a lot of people on the street in Moscow, St. Petersburg, all the cities of Russia who were against of that war. And they try to show their position. We don't sit, don't wait for something. We try to show the position, go to the streets with posters that we are against of that war. But anyway, we will suffer the consequences because all of us victim of regime somehow.
Given that there has been a bit of backlash against the Russian government for what they're doing in Ukraine, do you think the Russian government will listen to the people, or is that not likely?
No, I don't know. They say that they listen. And they say that it's not the biggest part of population who is against. The biggest part of population, by their opinion, is kind of support because they understood that we have to do this. We have no other choice. And they say that we take into account that there's people against, but it's not majority, it's just minority. That's why the point will not maybe influence something as it was yesterday.
Now you have family there, right? You have family there.
Yeah.
What is going to be the biggest effect that they'll feel with, of course, the sanctions? How do you think will it affect their daily lives?
I think most likely my dad, because he has a small business, it's furniture, all that stuff, and he's creating his own company. It's like really small one, but he's working for 25 years like that, and I think he will lose this. prices go up and he have some supply of some materials from abroad, and the prices really dependent on the currency rate, so euro, dollars, and I think his business will not survive that. I don't know. It's just most likely that's it for him because of the sanctions, because of the currency rate, because now almost 100 rubles per 1 euro, and it's crazy, just like it's big leap. And of course, all the prices will go up for food, for whatever you can imagine. It's already going up from yesterday, and just people start to be more poor than they are now because they're just losing money because prices, inflation, all that stuff. It will influence everyone.
Do you think the economic consequences of the sanctions that are being placed on Russia, do you think that will maybe push the Russian government to stop their actions in Ukraine?
I don't know. Actually, I don't know what the objectives, but I think no, it will not. It just will destroy life of people, of Russian people. That's it. What they will achieve by that, by my point of view.
If there's anything you want to say to people that are here at Montclair or the people anywhere, what would you want to tell them about a person that has family in Russia, person that's will feel the impact of both sides, because being that you're in France and your family's in Russia, what would you want to tell everybody?
I just would wish them stay strong and wish for the best, and I hope that it will end up in a good way and it will be no consequences that we expect for. We just stay strong, really. We don't know what to expect, but I hope it will don't go for the worst case scenario. It just will end up good for everyone. Maybe they will find a way to negotiate. I don't know, but I hope let's just keep hope that it will be okay.